the next mesh guide that I would like to take you on to is this one. It's doing a literature review. So before you actually start thinking about designing your own research project, it's really good for you to engage in depth with the literature that exists. So to really get an idea of what's already out there, because that helps you to raise some really intelligent and useful questions, and also gives you insights into what you might try out in your own practice. So what this mesh guide is designed to do is, so first of all, it helps you. So can you see in this middle column, it helps you to actually do searching in an organized way. So one element of doing searching is this identifying of key terms. I'll not click on these because it takes us through to different pages, but you can try that yourselves. So I'll just tell you some of the things that are in there. So how do you know what to look for? Well, identifying key terms is the way you start with that. Then you can carry on to your electronic searches. Now, in order to do electronic searches, there are some tricks that can help you to do that more effectively, and some strategies and approaches you can use. So this mesh guide gives you a little bit of insight into those, and it tells you a little bit about how to get started with various search engines. Now, when you've started looking for literature, you can be quite overwhelmed and find that there is so much stuff there you don't quite know what to do with it all. So one of the keys that you need is to actually begin to organize your information, and this mesh guide helps you to select the literature that is relevant to you, and also the literature that actually has the most credibility and is actually supported by some credible evidence. So it's important that you're able to evaluate your literature. So the mesh guide will also help you to do that and see, actually, is this believable? Is this something that we really want to use to actually inform our practice? So it's very important to be selective about that. Here's the section on helping you how to find information in the texts. And also, it's really important that you start to think about what questions do you want to ask when you start to read the literature. What are the questions that this literature is prompting you to ask and think about? Now, this is just an idea that I came up with when I was writing an article some time ago, is this idea of when you've got all your literature and all your ideas, you need to tell a story. Now, it's not a fictional story, it's a factual story. I don't know if that's a bit of a two ideas go in different directions, but you're trying to tell a story, and think of looking for literature, looking for themes that you're then going to tell to your colleagues. You need to tell them a convincing story that's going to really encourage them, motivate them, inspire them, because in order for anything that you find out to make a difference, it's essential that you actually can support it with evidence, and that you can tell it in a way that other people are going to come on board with and think that this is a really good way forward. So you can analyze the themes from the things that you read. You can begin to structure your ideas, and there's a suggestion here for how you can create maps to help you to do that. And then once you've structured your ideas, you're kind of telling a story that is a logical progression of ideas. Now, in this bit as well, there's also the idea of taking those ideas that you have found from the literature and then starting to think about, so what does this mean for my practice, and am I thinking of new ideas that this is spurring me on to think of different things beyond the literature. So you're really critically analysing that literature and synthesising new things from it. Okay, and then there's a little case study here about the trouble in the story. So this is the idea of finding a story that is the answer to some sort of problem or some sort of challenge, because I think the best sort of stories that we read, which are the fictional stories, have some sort of plot in them, don't they, where there's a problem to solve. And I think it's the same with us in when we're looking at education and educational research. The most effective way we can engage with literature is when we find something that is a problem or an issue that we really want to solve and make a difference in learners' lives. So that's that for the literature review.